Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Doesn't matter. I am Aqua Candy Love. How is everybody? Hello. Hello, hello. How are you all today? I don't really have a lot planned. I kind of am in like the bit of burnout stage today. We had a hell of a morning. Hopefully, everybody can hear me. Mm. Hopefully, the desktop audio isn't too loud. I could probably turn it down just a tiny bit. And what is going on with my rigging? Hold on, you guys. Let me make sure I calibrate this. Hi, y'all. Hi, y'all. Are you good? Calibrate. Look at my face. Okay, get off. I'm just being a derp this morning. Oh goodness, I was like, what is going on with the rigging? Oh yes, thank you, Shadow. Thank you for the redeem hydrate. Thank you. Hello, Candy. I don't know if it's the audio, but you sound kind of echoey. Yeah, that's the new microphone. I've been trying to adjust it, but it's so sharp. It's so sharp. I don't know a lot about audio, so if anybody wants to send me anything in the Discord to help with that, that would be very helpful. I am very clueless when it comes to audio, so I am willing to learn, if that makes sense. But yeah, it might sound a little bit echoey because of that. It's a very sharp microphone. Like, it's really nice, though. I love it. I love the fact that I don't have to, because I have it right now, kind of at a distance from me, and it's still picking up on, like, the sharpness of it. Oh, hi Aqua, I can't stay too long. That's okay. That's okay. Good morning, unknown apparition. How are you? Yes. This is the last day. Last day to see the ghosties and then the pumpkins on my channel, because we'll be getting into November and I gotta think about Christmas decorations for this. Something. Halloween coming to an end. Anyway, haven't been here in a while since life has been, yeah. So what's the mic? Maybe we can help. It's I don't know what it's called. Like, I know my BF ordered it. He was the one that ordered it for me off of Amazon. Again, it's really sharp. Like, dude, I could literally just be like, that's me tapping on my phone nearby. Like, I'm not even up on the microphone anymore. Like, that's how sharp it is, you guys. But I can try to maybe send a picture and something like that on my Discord so somebody, or I could probably see if my BF has the info on the microphone to see if anybody wants to help out with that in the future. I will probably try to do that this weekend. But yes, I'm kind of having just a bit of a slow morning. Maybe. Yeah. This is why we need to move 29th of February to October, so we get Halloween part 2 every 4 years, maybe, right? Well, don't ask me about mics. It's okay. It's okay. You're good, dude. I'll probably just throw a picture of the microphone I have in the general folder on my Discord, and if anybody has any info on that microphone and how I can set things up on my own, that'd be great. I'll go ahead and do that after stream today. But yeah, it's been like a very groggy morning. There, I did the redeem hydrate. I'm sorry. I should have done that. But yes, so quickness. My shit bucket of an old car decided to blow up its radiator on today. Oh, that sucks, man. I hate when that shit happens. Like, I've had, like, dude, I don't even own a car at this point. I drive my BF's car because I'm like, it's so expensive. It's so expensive. Even after you get the car, you still have to, like, pay on insurance, pay on, like, all of the mechanical side of it to make sure to keep up with it. Like, there's a lot. Maybe you should have a compressor on the mic via OBS. Technically there's, I'm not sure. I don't know if it has a compressor. That is a good question, like, on that note. I will have to write that. Let me write that down. But yeah, we had a rough morning this morning. I meant to get on earlier, you guys. But we got a phone call from the school saying that the buses would be like 20 minutes late, right? Roughly 20 minutes late. So I'm thinking, okay, that's not that bad. Hold on, let me look for my, I need a pen. Pen! Where's the pen? I know I had a pen in here. Pen? No, that's not a pen. Where the hell did the pens go? I can't find nothing today. It's fine. I'll remember. A compressor for the mic. Got it. Yeah, I'll have to ask him if we have that, or if it already has it. That I'm not sure. Again, I am clueless with audio, you guys. But yeah, we had a phone call this morning that the kids' bus was going to be 20 minutes late. I'm thinking, oh, okay, that's okay, right? Whatever. I sent her to the bus stop about 15 minutes after she would normally go to, and, you know, just had her try to keep an eye out for the bus. Yeah, she was standing out there for at least 45 minutes to an hour until I had to go and take her myself to school. Take her myself. Like, I was so mad. I was like, what the hell is going on? And I called transportation. I did the whole thing. I did all the steps. At the end of the day. But by the time I got to the school, they're like, it was so funny. They were just like, did you call transportation? I'm like, no, I called you first, and you guys put me on hold and sent me to transportation. They're like, oh, well, did they answer? Yeah, they put me on hold. And then the lady just kind of looked at me like, oh, like that moment of just being like, these people. Never trusted buses to take me, dude. Like, I feel like as a child who grew up in poverty, I had no choice. My family did not care. They were just like, you're getting on that bus. But I was so mad. I was like, dude, I wanted to start stream at 9:30 today, but instead I was waiting until 9:30 for the bus to show up. The bus didn't even show up, I guess, from what my BF told me when I came back from the school. I was like, oh, so they probably just forgot everybody? Wow. Not surprising. That's just the American kids bus transportation system for schools. It sucks. You would think we would have better transportation. But it's fine. I could care less at this point. As long as my kid's at school and she's doing what she's supposed to do, that's what matters, right? Ooh, coffee. Ooh, hot. I'm okay. Should have gave her a free day off. No, I'm good. Honestly, she does well at school. The eldest, she does really good at school, so her having a day off isn't necessarily a bad thing. But at the same time, I'm like, I am tired because we had our trick-or-treating last night. We did all our trick-or-treating last night. They had it the day before, and it honestly shows every time, like, trick-or-treating happens every year. It just shows me every time. I'm like, I am not in shape for this. And we walked around a few blocks and I was already, like, exhausted. I was just like, okay, you got enough candy? She's like, yeah, Mom, I got enough candy. Do you? Well, there were times, like, we would go past certain streets to be like, Mommy, can we go down that street? Mommy, can we go down that street? I'm like, no, I am going down a route. You're going to catch the houses on my route. We're not going on the detours. Like, please. Like, my knees and feet can't take it. I actually need to take my medication this morning. What's up? My anxiety medicine. Because I have crippling anxiety, you guys. It's fine. However, I will say, I did get a little inspired on my way back when it comes to what to watch and what to do, you guys. Because I think I was listening to, what was it? Yeah, the Columbus radio station for our local rock station is it's called the Blitz 99.7 The Blitz. I know, cue all the Has-Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss people being like, yay, Blitz! Not sponsored, but I was listening to them and they were talking Halloween stuff, and it made me remember an old American folktale that has always piqued my interest when I was a child. I don't know why it did. I don't know, maybe it's just because it's a very simple one. Give me 1 second, because I am going to try to find the some messed up origins about it. But it is the story of the Headless Horseman, if anybody has ever heard of that one. That is a very, very old American folktale. And it's funny, I was watching, as I was listening to the radio station, they were just like, oh, apparently the Headless Horseman was never associated with Halloween until the Disney movie, the Disney series of Ichabod, the Tales of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. If anybody ever heard of those as a kid. Apparently that's when they started associating the story of the Headless Horseman with Halloween. I was like, oh, so that's interesting to know. But yes, that's another one that I like. So I'm like, you know what? We're in the Halloween thing here, right? So I am going to, let's see. Oh, he did 2 videos. So which ones do I want to do? Ooh. We have, okay, so I was going to hop on, his name is John Solo, the person that does these, it's called Messed Up Origins, and he has at least 4 things here that I could easily go down the list of for Halloween, you guys. He has the messed up origins of Sleepy Hollow. He has the messed up origins of the Dullahan, which is Celtic folklore, yes. And then we also have the messed up origins of Alice Through the Looking Glass, like Alice in Wonderland. And then we have the very messed up origin of vampires. So I think I will let the chat pick. What do you guys want? Messed up origins of Sleepy Hollow, messed up origins of Dullahan, the Celtic folklore explained, Alice Through the Looking Glass, or vampires, you guys? What do you guys want today for our spoopy day today? Because that's what I'm in the mood for. Let's watch some spoopy stuff. My father used to give me a rule that his father used on him. If I'm ever late for school, just don't go. It will look better on my report, the rest of my family said. I mean, yeah, I could see that. It's like too many tardies can like lead up to like so many things. So many things. Whatever the lady wants, I'm up for anything. All right, sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. I mean, I'm okay with any of these because I love the way he goes down the list of it. So let's go ahead. I'm going to switch to the main page here. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Alice, you want Alice? Okay, we got one Alice. We got one Alice in Wonderland. And then we got, like I said, we have vampires, we have the Dullahan, and then we have the messed up origins of Sleepy Hollow. So, oh, I didn't even realize. The messed up origins of Alice in Wonderland is like 40 minutes. So I guess let's go with that, you guys. How does that sound? We'll go into the messed up origins of Alice in Wonderland. Because why not? Did I kill the music? Did I get the music? I thought I did. Hold on. I got y'all. I got y'all for this. Okay. Pause. Like, let's go. We are going to, for the hell's sake of it, is this gonna be a spooky reaction stream? I'm gonna save that for tomorrow. I actually found some video games that I might test out tomorrow. So, like, I'm kind of in the realm of testing scary video games, if that makes sense, you guys. I know a lot of scary video games out there, but it also comes down to like what's available on my Steam, what I'm able to purchase, and what I'm able to play, and everything else. So I've just been kind of like, scary video games has been like a testing ground, if that makes sense. But Saturdays is always going to be spooky Saturdays, you guys. I'm gonna try to keep it to that, if that makes sense. So that way we got some consistency going. All right. let us get into John Solo's The Messed Up Origins of Alice Through the Looking
Most
Glass.
of us know Alice in Wonderland as the
Oh, pause. Okay. All right. Let me make sure I save it. I mean, I'm subscribed to him, so I'll definitely credit him in the descriptions because I wait. That's not what I meant to do. It's okay. Copy link address. There we go. That's all I need. And where's my notepad? Notepad. Notepad. We need notepad so we can give credits because we are a good YouTuber here. We are a good streamer YouTuber. I don't know what I am. I am. OMG, we need a Scream game. Oh, yes, I know. Like I said, Saturdays is going to be spooky Saturdays, so that way I can try to test out scary games as we go along. Because there's some scary games that I feel, how do I put it? Like, I'm very terrible at scary video games because of the fact that my brain just gets so immersed in them mentally that it freaks me out. But then there's some that I'm like, So tomorrow, actually, I found the demo for Mortuary Assistant. So we might be doing some Mortuary Assistant tomorrow. I might just do the demo for you guys because, like, again, scary video games has been just kind of a testing ground for me, you guys. And it's okay. I am learning to try to be a big brave girl. I'm a grown up, right? Okay, all right, so the messed up origins of Alice Through the Looking Glass. Let us go. We.
fever dream of talking rabbit.
All right.
Most of us know Alice in Wonderland as the trippy fever dream of talking rabbits, vanishing cats, and homicidal queens. But a lot of people forget that the book's author, Lewis Carroll, didn't stop there. In 1871, just a few years after finding success in Wonderland, he wrote a sequel, Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There. And while this story isn't talked about quite as much as the original, I assure you it is every bit as entertaining and twice as strange. Actually, I don't want to quantify the strangeness. I was just referencing a quote from the book.
Dude, it is strange. Okay, dude, I love Alice in Wonderland. It's got some messed up origins for a lot of reasons, but we're gonna continue with this. Yes. Anyway,
This
go.
time, Alice doesn't fall down a rabbit hole but climbs through a mirror, and awaiting her on the other side is not the same Wonderland we came to know in the last book, but a strange, apparently new world that runs on a
Yes.
giant chessboard. But just like Wonderland, there is way more to this story than whimsy. Carol.
Now I remember with Alice in Wonderland, like they had, of course, the Jabberwocky. That was a creature that was in the first Alice in Wonderland. So this is technically, I think, yeah, the Looking Glass is the sequel, right? Yes.
Act it with parodies of Victorian society, logic puzzles, and some darker undertones that most readers miss. And today, I'm uncovering all of it, so follow me through the looking glass as we dive into its messed up origins.
Whee! A very merry birthday to me. I don't know why that went through my head, but it did. Look at the chessboard. Nice.
In true Carolian fashion, the opening scene of Through the Looking Glass and What Alice Found There is a direct contrast to the introduction of Alice's adventures in Wonderland. You'll remember that the previous story opens on a warm summer day, and while Alice's sister is busy reading a book without pictures, Alice dozes off, triggering the appearance of the White Rabbit. While Through the Looking Glass takes place on a snowy afternoon, and Alice is taking shelter from the cold in her family's drawing room. While sitting in a big, comfy chair, she lectures one of her cat Dinah's two kittens for causing trouble and threatens to put him in the looking glass house, i.e., the mirror, which she goes on to describe as being the same as their house, but everything is reflected the other way. Then Alice gets out of the chair, climbs onto the mantle, and pretends that she can travel
No
through the
problem,
mirror,
man.
only to discover that she actually can. As she pushes through the mirror, it turns into a silvery mist, and as she climbs through, she finds herself back in the drawing room. Only everything is reversed, just as she described before. She was now in the Looking Glass house, and things
Yes.
were a lot more interesting here than at home.
It's like that's when all of the crazy happens. I actually heard somewhere that when it comes to the author of Alice in Wonderland, I think he was trying to write things through the perspective of a child, when it comes to the way they interpret the world around them. So, but that's as far as I know with that. I know there's some other dark origins about the author. I don't even want to say it, but it's fine. At the end of the day, you know, we need to separate the artist from the work, okay? God, I'm like trying to save myself here. It's fine. But yeah, that was something that I heard when I was learning about some of the origins of the author of Alice in Wonderland. He was trying to create it through the perspective of a child viewing the adult world, if that makes sense.
On the wall were engaged in lively conversation while the chess pieces searched the room frantically for the White Queen's daughter, Lily. Now, Alice could see plain as day that Lily was on the table, so she tried to help the king and queen by placing them on the table. But evidently, she didn't anticipate the toll that changing elevation so quickly would take on the royals, because when she set them down, they were both wide-eyed and out of breath. Traumatized, for lack of a better term.
Like, oh no! Why does that make me think of the bird scene in the original Disney movie? Like, serpent! Serpent! She's like, but I'm not a serpent. Oh, are you, aren't you? It's like, I suppose you don't eat eggs either. She's like, well, I do. That's it, serpent!
Her arrival at the Looking Glass house in Bobbin's movie goes down quite a bit different.
Serpent.
For starters, Alice shrinks down to about a 50th of her size. Her encounter with the chess pieces is
She's tiny,
chaotic, but it incorporates Humpty Dumpty, whom she knocks off
no.
the table. Then all the king's horses and men from the chessboard try to put them together again. Alice does encounter Humpty Dumpty in the book as well, but it's not until she's about halfway across the chessboard, and their interaction is way different. So stick around if you want to hear about it. Back to book Alice,
okay.
on the same table that she had just put the chess pieces on was a book containing what became one of Carol's most iconic poems, the Jabberwocky. Now remember that everything on this side of the mirror is reversed, so when Alice opened up the book, the text looked like this.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can read this. I know it's backwards, but I bet I can. Okay. The Jabberwocky, right? Okay, B, yeah. 'Twas brillig, and the slit. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gindle, would it be gindle? No, gimbal, or gimdle in the wait. Oh my god, I can't. Okay, never mind, you guys. I don't have the brain capacity today for this.
But when she held it up to the mirror, she was able to read it.
There we go. The Jabberwocky. 'Twas brillig and the slithy toves, yes, did gyre and gimble in wabe. Al mimsy were the borogoves, and the mome raths, yes, the mome raths outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the jubjub bird, and the shun, the frumious bandersnatch, yes. He took his vorpal sword in hand, long time the manscombe foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree and stood a while in thought.
Without issue.
There.
I've debated on how much of this poem I should include.
I hope y'all like my attempt at that. I swear to God, I probably butchered that. You're welcome.
Here because it's a whole ass wall of text,
God.
and I don't want us to get too sidetracked from the main story, especially when the book has so many poems and they all contain this much nonsense. So I'm just going to give you the gist. Or you could just listen to the
I love the nonsensical poems. Oh, Mad Hatter, Johnny Depp, yay. Hello, how are you today, sir? Hello, good sir. Oh my god, he's my favorite. I'm sorry. Ah! Where do we go? Oh no. Fucking damn it. This is what happens. I get flustered and then I do dumb shit. Okay, that's where we left off. Oh, hello, bot. Bye-bye, bot. Deny. Bye-bye, bot. Yes. Continue.
But when she held it up to her ear, she was able to read it without issue. I've debated on how much of this poem I should include here because it's a whole ass wall of text, and I don't want us to get too sidetracked from the main story, especially when the book has so many poems and they all contain this much nonsense. So I'm just going to give you the gist.
All the nonsense.
Or you could just listen to the headings like parts of it in the Burton movie, but it's probably not worth subjecting yourself to that.
The Jabberwock with eyes of flame. Jaws that bite and claws that catch. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, on the frumious bandersnatch.
The Jabberwocky poem is basically about the death of the Jabberwocky.
I love his voice. Sorry.
Off with a vorpal sword, the same fate that it ultimately succumbs to in Burton's adaptation.
Oh my goodness, there's like a whole spiel.
Alice in Wonderland from a nonsensical adventure to your prototypical hero's journey.
Yes.
The Jabberwocky poem. But fans of the poem might be surprised to hear that at one point, Carol...
Honestly, I liked that interpretation that Tim Burton made to make it like very much like she is the one of her story. She is the hero of her story. Only I can defeat the Jabberwocky. It's like the whole like the 10 impossible things before breakfast. I love it. I love it anyway. It's so empowering in its own way, anyway.
Actually considered cutting out the iconic illustration that accompanies it, out of concern that it would terrify his young readers. But after getting the okay from a couple dozen mommies, he committed to keeping it. We'll talk more about the poem's meaning.
All the moms were just like, it's fine. They'll only be slightly traumatized. They'll be okay. Just rub some dirt in it, yes.
When we get to chapter 6. Because Humpty Dumpty is going to enlighten us on where some of the more obscure terminology came from.
I love it.
Right now, Alice's adventure is only just beginning.
Yes.
She leaves the comfort of the drawing room, floats down the stairs, and right out the front door of the Looking Glass house.
Adventure time! She's curious, curiouser and curiouser. Chapter 2, The Garden of Live Flowers. Yes. Oh my goodness. You guys, I have to say real quick, I love the whole, I am such a girl with this, okay? I am such a girl with this, but I always love the scene where she goes to meet the talking flowers. I love it. Oh, and then the song they sing, what is it? I think it's called Golden Afternoon. Golden Afternoon, yes. How's it go? How's it go? Oh, let's see if I can remember. You can learn a lot of things from the flowers, for especially in the month of June. You can learn a lot of things from the flowers in the golden afternoon. Yes. Okay, I'm done. I'm just being a derp this morning. I love it.
Were directly influenced by trends and social customs from Victorian society. Like
yes.
Alice reciting poetry on demand
Caterpillar.
came from the real expectations that were placed on children living in that society, especially girls, to be articulate, have poise, and to be mentally acute. While writing this episode, I couldn't help but wonder what kind of nonsensical behaviors Lewis Carroll would have incorporated if he lived in our society, especially with our technology.
Oh god, I could only imagine. And plus, there was like the origins of Lewis Carroll. There was some, again, I know I mentioned it, like we have to separate the artist from the work, right? We have to separate the artist from the work. Yes, because apparently he had a thing. Creeper had a thing for little girls, henceforth why he wrote a story about a little girl. It always enrages me. It always enrages me, but at the same time, despite that, it's like I still love the story. Okay, you guys, like, again, separate the artist from the work. Separate the artist from the work. I will repeat that. God. Go.
What kind of wonderland would Alice have found if she fell asleep at the computer instead of sitting outside and touching grass like kids did in the olden days? And
again, it probably would have been more zany and just even worse. Oh my god, it would be so much worse. It would be so much worse. Modern day Alice in Wonderland exploring the internet. Now! Now! Fuck that. Poor Alice. Alice would be traumatized by the end of it all. She would be traumatized by the modern day internets.
How would Carroll himself have used modern technology to tell
I
new
know.
stories? It's impossible to say for sure, but I am confident in saying that if he was going to build a website, he would have used our sponsor, Squarespace. Because why wouldn't you use Squarespace? At this point, they basically build your website for you. Thanks to their new AI tools like Design in the animated adaptation, The Garden of Live Flowers, and Disney followed the original story almost exactly.
Yes.
Both heroines enter the garden and are surprised
Look
when
at the
flowers start
rose.
speaking to them, and the flowers respond that they only talk when there's someone worth talking to.
Yes.
Then they start critiquing Alice's appearance, commenting on her
Like,
droopy
look at
petals,
those
skinny
petals.
stems, and her total lack of fragrance.
I know,
She'll never
fragrance.
Bring her family
Yes.
honor. Wait, wrong movie.
Come
In
on,
the
I'm
film,
trying to put
Alice
the...
defends herself by declaring that she isn't a flower.
I was trying to
but
plug in my
rather
headset
genus
there. Bad.
humanus
My bad.
Alice. Only that makes the flowers more critical because
Yeah.
now they think she's a weed. In the
Yeah.
book, Alice gets
Oh,
fired
no,
for
a
insults
weed.
and threatens to
Not
pick
in our
them.
garden
She
bed.
shuts them up real quick. She threatens to pick them in the movie as well, but they don't take her seriously and respond by dumping water on her, flushing her away to the next encounter. In the book, though, their convo continues. And
Dude, honestly, that would have been so funny if they added an extra scene in the original of her going back to those flowers and being like, yay, look what I got here, you guys. I'm gonna pick you all. This is what you get for being bitches.
tell her about the Red Queen, who thankfully is not the same as the
Rude.
Queen of Hearts, but she can be just as temperamental. When Lewis Carroll described his envisioning of the character in his article Alice on the Stage, he says he pictured her as a fury, but of another type. Her
fury?
passion must be cold and calm. She must be formal and strict, yet not unkindly, pedantic to the 10th degree. The concentrated essence of all governesses. And
essentially the whole, you must be ladylike. Yes, I must be ladylike. You know what I say to that? That's what I say to being ladylike. Screw y'all. I do what I want.
The perfect way of describing her, because when Alice first encounters her, she tells the Queen that she's lost her way, and the Queen responds not by offering guidance, but by saying that all ways belong to her.
Always here on my way. Always my way.
And when Alice says she's trying to get to the top of that nearby hill, the Queen replies that compared to the hills that she's seen, that one is a valley. Which again is not helpful. Eventually, Alice does make it to the top of the hill, though, and while surveying the landscape, she notices it looks exactly like a chessboard, complete with brooks to divvy up the territory. Then,
dude, I'm not gonna lie. If you could picture this, like in a realistic, oh yeah, I am just being silent today. Oh no, you're perfectly fine, my dude. It's all good. But dude, could you imagine? I could picture like this realistically speaking and just see it like all. Why does this make me think of farmland? It makes me think of farmland. This is exactly what most farmland looks like. Just endless fields and blocks. Okay, go.
Alice says that she'd like to play chess and wouldn't mind being a pawn, and the Red Queen makes it so, turning Alice into a pawn.
Oh,
the
yeah.
White Queen's pawn, for some reason. We don't have time to question the logic, or lack thereof, because the Queen then grabs Alice's hand and starts running. She runs.
Like, that's the thing with Alice in Wonderland. You never question the logic in Alice in Wonderland because it's Alice in Wonderland. Like it's supposed to be nonsense. Oh, dude, I remember the old song that she sings. It's like, in a world, or how's it? What's that quote? In my world, how's it go? In my world, everything would be nonsense because everything would be what it is, and everything it is, it would be what it isn't. And contrariwise, it is, it wouldn't be, and what it wouldn't be, it would. You see? Just her cat looking at her confused, like, huh? Go.
So fast that Alice can barely keep up, and after 10 straight minutes of sprinting, they finally stop, only for Alice to realize they hadn't moved at all. It's here that we're treated to one of the story's most famous quotes. The Red Queen explains,
yes.
Now here, you see, it takes all the running you can do to keep in the same place.
Yes.
Which is probably a play on the story being set inside a mirror where logic is reversed. But I think we can all agree that life itself feels that way sometimes.
Always.
Now, another major difference with the live-action movies is they combined the characters of the Queen of Hearts and the Red Queen, and then made the White Queen her sister. The two's final battle also takes place on a chessboard.
See, I like this portion of it all. Like, this portion of the movie was amazing, you guys. Like, and again, I love how they made both of the queens. Like, of course, Helena Bonham Carter, she was perfect as the Red Queen, as per usual, because, you know, it's Helena Bonham Carter. But I also love how they did Anne Hathaway in the sense of, like, everything just all completely glistening white. But then you look at her makeup and she has like the darkest of makeup, and it's like, it's so contrasting. It's pretty. It's beautiful. Anyway, I'm just being a fucking girl. Go.
Like the book does. One of the more interesting and bizarre facts about this story is that Alice and the characters that she interacts with symbolize movements on a chessboard.
Yes.
Her journey ends with the checkmate of the Red King. But don't give it too much credit, because the game of chess that ensues is basically like two Wonderland characters are playing with little to no rules. Pieces make illegal moves, they have no self-preservation instincts, and they don't take turns properly. To put it another way, the checkmate itself is orthodox, but the journey to get there is not.
Because it's nonsensical. Essentially, they're playing chess like children would exactly, you know? Without the rules. What rules? What rules? Rules in the land of Wonderland? Yeah, okay, go.
For yourself as the story unfolds, because we made a 3D rendering of the game just for this episode.
Yeah.
If that doesn't deserve a like and subscribe, I don't know what does. Now Alice is approaching the edge of the second square, meaning she's got 6 more to go. And boy, do those 6 squares contain some insanity. Speaking of insanity, if you're looking for a way to represent your love for the Alice in Wonderland series, but the current selection at Hot Topic isn't doing it for you, check out one of our Mad Cat tees.
Ooh, look at that! Hold on. Oh, that looks so cool. Oh my god, look at its face. Oh, that's like nightmare fuel, but I love it. I love it. I love all the neon with it. Go.
Once again, taking advantage of the public domain.
The scariest of scary Cheshire Cat.
Resident who understands just how mad he is. We also.
How are you supposed to pronounce that word, by the way? Is it Cheshire or Cheshire? That's one thing I've always been curious about. I don't know, Shadow, if you're paying attention, but I don't know how to speak. I don't know how to speak proper English. I speak American English, which is just broken. But like, is it Cheshire or Cheshire? I don't know. I'm curious.
We upgraded our entire hoodie lineup, so they have an even softer.
I want it.
Fit just
it looks awesome.
So if you want to be comfy and a little bit.
Oh, they got a Steamboat Willie one.
That's
great.
Or hit the link in the description.
Nice. Okay, we got chapter 3, Looking Glass Insects.
So chapter 3 does get referenced in both the live action and animated movies, but understandably, they're quick little nods of acknowledgement as opposed to retellings of the entire chapter. You'll see what I mean in a minute, because the book's Alice jumps over one of the babbling brooks that separates the squares, and she was instantly transported onto a train. A rather unfriendly train at that. The train's ticket man was demanding that Alice hand over her ticket, and so was everybody else on the train. Now, we both know that Alice was not anticipating this train ride, so she doesn't have a ticket, which leads to a rain of insults and mockery from her fellow passengers. They say she doesn't know her name, the alphabet, and that she'll have to ride the train back as luggage since she hasn't bought a seat.
What? So she has to go sit in the luggage cart? What? I'm so confused.
Fortunately, Alice didn't have to deal with their snide remarks for very long, because the train makes a jump over the brook at the end of the 3rd square. While Alice is sailing through the air, the train and its passengers dissipate, and she's suddenly sitting under a tree.
Do, 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 do.
The only train passenger still with Alice is a little gnat that's been buzzing bad puns into her ear for the past 10 minutes, and the two discuss the unique bug species that populate the Looking Glass world. There's the rocking horsefly with a body made entirely of wood.
I remember that. I remember the rocking horsefly, and then, oh, they also have bread and butterflies. Yes, bread and butterflies. I remember that in the cartoon. Yay! We're learning things today, you guys. I mean, I already know a lot about Alice in Wonderland to begin with, because I'm just a fairy tale person, you guys. I love fairy tales all day, every day, because I am that whimsical. But yeah, I remember those two specifically from the Disney cartoon. That's awesome.
Dragonfly
It's neat.
with
I
a
love it.
body of plum pudding, wings of holly leaves, and a head made from a burning brandy-soaked raisin. Also, bread and butterflies.
Yeah.
You get to see a few of these in the animated
Yes, the bread and butterflies. Oh, look at
You
them.
mean bread and butterflies?
And
You mean
talking
bread and
flowers is
butterflies?
about some other creatures like dog
The caterpillar and the
caterpillars
dogapillar.
cowbirds and crickets. They get a nod of acknowledgement in Burton's movie as well, but it's a blink and you'll miss it reference when Alice first arrives in Wonderland.
Yeah.
After her conversation with the gnat, the book's Alice enters the forest of things with no name, and the deeper into it that she walks, the more that she forgets, to the point where she has no idea where she's going or even what her name is. I think, although I could be wrong, that the animated film was referencing this bit with the scene in the Tolji Wood, a phrase that also comes from the Jabberwocky poem.
Yes.
Alice encounters more curious critters, not unlike the looking glass insects, until she gets so lost that the Cheshire Cat has to guide her to the Queen's Gardens.
Yes.
Something rather different happens in the sequel, though. Alice just soldiers on alongside a fawn, who's also forgotten its identity until they make it far enough in that the fawn remembers that it's a deer and should probably be afraid of humans and runs away from Alice. The girl wouldn't be alone for long, though, because further down the path, she could see two short little fatties. No, I'm not talking about Gunther and Penny.
Are you talking about Tweedledum and Tweedledee? Let's go! My fat boys! We got my fat boys. Let's see my fat boys.
Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because you're about to learn a whole lot about Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
My
and
fat
honestly,
boys!
I did not realize there was so much history behind these two. See, I always thought the
I'm sorry, I always love that joke from Helena Bonham Carter when she does that. Like, look at my fat boys. Watch my fat boys. They're going to be funny. What? Be funny, fat boys. It's like, what the fuck?
Those were completely original characters, but
Yay!
no, Alice in Wonderland's fame has just eclipsed the source material they came from.
Oh,
I know
really?
that some of you are rolling your eyes at my ignorance, either because you know the rhyme or because there's a line in the book that literally says the words of the old song kept ringing through her head, with the lyrics right below it. But I don't know, maybe when I read this story the first time, I still thought the rhyme originated within the Alice canon. Regardless, the rhyme goes as follows. Tweedledum and Tweedledee agreed to have a battle, for Tweedledum said Tweedledee had spoiled his nice new rattle. Just then flew down a monstrous crow as black as a tar barrel, which frightened both the heroes so they quite forgot their quarrel. So if you're like me, you're probably thinking, what?
Right,
Don't
like,
worry,
huh?
I got the inside scoop. If you've seen my Nursery Rhymes Explained series, you'll know the majority of messed up origin stories for nursery rhymes are really just decades-old myths that either don't have any compelling evidence to back them up, or in some cases are verifiably false.
Honestly, I have to sit there and like, okay, with him saying that, it just kind of makes me wonder, like, 100 years, think about it, 100 years from now, I wonder how much zany stuff from our time frame that people are just going to be sitting there in that modern society being like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? What the fuck is wrong with these people? They were doing this, they were doing that, like, this shit was poison, that stuff was horrible for them. It's like I have to sit there and ponder, like, because we sit there all the time with people from Victorian times be like, yeah, they had lead in everything. They had, what was it? What is it called? It starts with an A, like apothecaries with like all kinds of like I think they were putting arsenic in their makeup and stuff, and people were like getting sick and dying from like lead poisoning and shit. And we're now sitting here being like, yeah, that's poison. Yeah, that's poison. I wonder how many, like, how long, like, in the I have to picture like that thought process now with it, like 100 years from now. Like how many people are gonna be sitting there like these people were idiots? Anyway, that's just my little intrusive thought for the day, you guys. You're welcome. You can ponder on that.
Of Tweedledum and Tweedledee, though, is we know exactly when the terms were invented, who invented them, and who they were meant to make fun of. Let's go back to the year 1720,
Exactly.
a time when Johann Sebastian Bach was actively composing some of the most famous melodies the world will ever know, and Britain's coffee houses were bustling with activity and lively debates among their caffeine-fueled patrons. Also taking place at this time was a little artistic rivalry between two composers whose names I'll forget the moment I finish recording this episode, George Frederick Handel and Giovanni Bononcini. See, you're gonna forget them too.
Yeah.
To put it simply, both Handel and Bononcini were hired to compose operas for the Royal
Opera?
Academy of Music Company, which King George...
Dude, my grandma always wanted me to be an opera singer. Like, ah! I can hit pretty high notes, but at the same time, I'm not like that point of like, how do I put it? I'm not a high pitch high note, if that makes sense. Like I'm a medium soprano high note. I don't know how to put that. She always wanted me to be an opera singer there. She's like, Candy, you could do so well with that. Uh-huh. La Figaro. Okay, I'm done.
The first in a bunch of Richie Riches founded, so they had an endless supply of operas to watch.
Opera.
This is not to be confused with the Royal Academy of Music in London, which opened 100 years later and is still enriching students' lives with music to this.
Good morning, Privy Author. How are you? How are you? I see your little comment there. Figaro, you heard me. Yeah, they were mentioning opera in this, so... I was like my grandma used to want me to be an opera singer because she always pushed me into the limelight of trying to sing, you guys. She'd be like, you can do it, Candy. Like, come on. But yes, we are watching the messed up origins of Alice Through the Looking Glass. That's what we are watching today. John Solo's messed up origins. This man right here, his name is John Solo, yes. And he does a lot of messed up origins of all kinds of fairy tales. So I might be doing his videos, like maybe reacting to some of his videos on a regular, because he's got some new ones I haven't watched, and if that makes sense, you guys. But he has a lot of interesting stuff. Yes, check him out if you guys want to. I'll put like I said, I'm going to put credit in the description for him for sure. But yes, messed up origins of Alice Through the Looking Glass continue. Would you be open to watching a few of suggestions? Sure. Just go ahead and do you have my Discord, my dude? Do you have my Discord? Because you could probably send it to me on Discord, or even just fuck. I'm thinking. What other way? But yeah, I wouldn't mind. This one is a pretty long one, so we're gonna try to get through it, and depending on how I feel, I might watch another video just in case. I think I do have your Discord. Okay, so I would share it in the suggestions folder, the channel suggestions folder, because I'm gonna go through those this weekend, you guys, and I'm gonna be starting to make thumbnails for some of them, so that way we have more content to watch. I'm not just sitting here gaming until my brain rots. You know, it's okay. I don't mind if you do that. That's okay. Just game all you want. I'm just not like heavily gaming, so I'm like, I need I need more stuff to react to. It's all good. All right. Anyway, I got distracted, you guys. Back to this Alice Through the Looking Glass messed up origins. My bad. All right, I have a question for you as well. Oh, you have a question? Okay, before I press play, what's your question there, my good sir? I'm gonna drink my coffee real quick. Okay, your royal guard, you and your friend are tasked with killing rebellions. One day, he asks you for a favor, but he doesn't tell you what it is. Moments later, a comm link or radio speaks up. You're called to duty, a briefing to another routine of killing rebels, but this one's different. It includes a certain person that your friend is in love with. Oh gosh, you suddenly know what your favor is. After briefing, he asks you the favor. Will you look a blind eye? Oh, ooh, that's a rough decision. I wish to wish to save just her, but my first love. Knowing this, there is also a law where if you were to help a rebel, you would be executed. So would you turn a blind eye and allow him to save his first love, but on the risk he gets executed, or would you kill his first love, not out of hate, but out of care for him to save his life from certain death? I mean, for the sake of love, I'm not going to lie to you, I would probably be the one to turn a blind eye. Only because at the same time, like, I know it's sad that he would be executed if he got caught, right? But at the same time, like, that's also that person's decision, you know, of taking that risk, right? And then on top of it all, like, I don't know. Like I said, I have a soft spot, you guys. That's my problem. I have a soft spot. I would be the one to turn a blind eye, just like, go get your love. I'm sorry. I know that sounds I don't know if that sounds terrible or good or bad or what, but that's kind of where I would be. I couldn't destroy somebody's love. I would be, dude, it would send me into a depression afterwards, I'm telling you. All right. I'm getting so distracted from this video. My bad, you guys. Let us continue. We were on Tweedledum and Tweedledee for references. Okay, back to the opera, because that's where I've kind of got a little distracted. But apparently Tweedledum and Tweedledee have a reference to some of this to keep me on that page. Okay, yeah, let's go.
Sebastian Bach was
Oh no, my headset.
composing some of the most famous melodies the world will ever know.
Okay.
Britain's coffee houses were bustling with activity and lively debates among their caffeine-fueled patrons. Also
Yes.
taking place at this time was a little artistic rivalry between two composers whose names I'll forget the moment I finish recording this episode: George Frederick Handel and Giovanni Bononcini. See, you're gonna forget them too. To put it simply, both Handel and Bononcini were hired to compose operas for the Royal Academy of Music Company, which King George I and a bunch of Richie Riches founded, so they had an endless supply of operas to watch. This is not to be confused with the Royal Academy of Music in London, which opened 100 years later, and is still enriching students' lives with music to this day. But
Interesting.
it has a scary elevator, and for that reason, Cole Wilson had to give it one.
To be fair, it's in an old building, so any elevator in an old building is terrifying, to be fair. Anyway, go.
What a shithole. Anyway, both of the aforementioned composers, Handel and Bononcini, were talented lads, and soon enough the Richie Riches started to argue among themselves about which composer they liked more. And I guess the feud became a pretty big deal, because in 1725, the English poet John Byrom wrote a rhyme satirizing the whole situation. Some say, compared to Bononcini, that Mynheer Handel's but a ninny. Others aver that he to Handel's scarcely fit to hold a candle. Strange all this difference should be twixt Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
Ah, that's where it comes from.
So that is
That's
the
great.
earliest known appearance of the Tweedledum and Tweedledee names in any print.
Tweedledum and Tweedledee were referenced to two opera singers competing with each other. Go!
And ipso facto, the potential real-life identities of the Tweedles. But it's obviously not.
They look
the
like a
nursery
Tweedledum
rhyme
and
that
Tweedledee.
Alex was talking about. According to the Oxford Dictionary of Nursery Rhymes, one
That's
of the
great.
most trusted resources on said topic, that rhyme was not put into print until 80 years after Byron, when the original Juvenile Library put out a collection called Original Ditties for the Nursery in 1806. We still don't have an author. The J. Harris listed on the cover is the book's publisher, but all of the rhymes included would have been in the public domain anyway. They also don't have any melodies, so there's no composer to give credit to. Now, just to be clear, it is totally possible that the children's rhyme about the battle and the rattle existed before John Byrom wrote his epigram about the composers, and that could be where he took the terms Tweedledee and Tweedledum from. But because the children's rhyme wasn't published until almost a century after his epigram, he was the first one to use them in a written work. and so he's officially
Oh.
credited as the creator of the terms. But while Lewis Carroll may
Okay,
have taken
gotcha.
their name from the pre-existing rhyme, the peculiar way that illustrator John Tenniel depicts the Tweedles wearing schoolboy skeleton suits is completely original and unique to this.
Okay, so I guess to my understanding, that means like somebody else came up with the word, but he was the first one to have it in literature for the term to actually be coined and made, I guess. I don't know how to put that. Anyway.
Story. In fact, I'm pretty sure this is the first time the duo was ever illustrated, but I may have missed some obscure nursery rhyme collection with little illustrations like this one here has. Alice's encounter with the Tweedles in the book is actually reimagined pretty well in the movie.
Yes.
The animated one. The 2010 remake
Oh,
clearly
God.
had no idea.
Oh, God, they just look so... I don't even want to say it because I feel like it would be too offensive. But the modern Tweedledee and Tweedledum, I'm sorry, y'all look special. Y'all look like 2010 remake does not exist. The 2010 Tweedledum. I have mixed feelings. There were things that I liked about it, and there were things that I didn't like about it, to be fair. Tweedledee and Tweedledum's design in this, I did not like. They literally look like kids with... Please forgive me, everybody, but they literally remind me of kids with Down syndrome. I'm not even trying to be mean when I say that, but they just look special. I'm like, you poor souls. It's like, this is why the Red Queen was like, hey, look at my fat boys. These are my fat boys. Hello, fat boys. Do something funny, fat boys. Hey, fun fact, did you know there was a Mulan 2? Yes, I did. I didn't mind Mulan 2. I just didn't really get into it because I was like much older when it came out. But I knew a few kids that loved that one. I actually liked the sequel from The Little Mermaid. I know a lot of people were like, oh, like I feel like Melody, Ariel's daughter, is that story, like it's such an underrated sequel in my opinion. It's such an underrated sequel. Bro, what I just found out about Mulan 2 like a few days ago. Oh, you did? You did? I don't know. Like I said, I was the kid that was raised on Disney films, you guys. My grandmother, that was her go-to when it came to getting like movies and crap for us. It was always like Disney. Like, I know we watched a lot of like Don Bluth films, such as what was it? Secret of Nim, and like Secret of Nim. She loved Secret of Nim. My grandma did. And then there was also quite a few other ones, not just that. American Tail, An American Tail. There was quite a few of them that I watched. Like a lot of Don Bluth, a lot of Disney, a lot of like all the, like, you name it. My grandmother was like, here, we found things. Like, dude, the moment she found out about Veggie Tales from one of my cousins, she was like, yes, I must get the entire collection for my children. All the VHS tapes. You're gonna learn about Jesus from vegetables, you guys. Like, she was that grandma. She always got all of those. So I was raised on Disney films, everyone. I saw a romantic ass edit of Mulan and Li Shang, and that's how I found out about Mulan 2 existed. Veggie Tales, oh my god, right? Like, dude, my grandma was that grandma. Anything that was kid friendly, she was like on top of that, like trying to make sure she had stuff for us. My grandma spoiled us with that crap. Anyway, let me continue. Tweedledum, Tweedledee, my fat boys, how's it going? Go.
Doing that. And the extent of their role is summed up in this one scene that I am convinced writer Linda Wolverton included as a metaphor for her own struggles trying to utilize them in the plot.
Speak,
Right.
boys. Amuse us.
Amuse us. Yeah. Yeah.
I love my fat boys.
I love my fat boys.
She did find some clever ways to reference them in the sequel, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, I
Now,
swear.
since the animated Alice focuses on the story from the first book, she runs into the Tweedles while chasing after the White Rabbit. But in Through the Looking
White
Glass,
Rabbit?
she's still on her way to the other side of the chessboard, where she'll hopefully be turned from a pawn to a queen. Both versions of Alice notice how odd the little fat boys are right away.
Yes.
As well as the fact that they have their names stitched on their collars.
Dude, the fact that they're just standing out in the forest just like this. Just like this. Like, dude, I would be freaked out if I walked in the woods and I just saw two dudes standing side by side with the big ass bellies just staring like like I fucking like have a heart attack. I'd be like, what the fuck? Are y'all demons? Are you gonna try to eat me or something? Like, no.
Both Alices also mistake the Tweedles as statues because they're standing
Right.
so still. A
Exactly.
faux pas that they chastise her for before demonstrating how to properly greet someone.
Uh-huh.
Then, when she reaches out to shake both their hands at the same time...
I remember that one. It's like, how's it go? How's it go? How do you do and shake hands, shake hands, shake hands. How do you do and shake hands? Freaking flip-flop her around.
Out of fear
Go.
of offending them by picking one over the other, the boys just start spinning around in circles while Alice sings "Here We Go Round the Mulberry Bush." Once again, this is all reflected in the animated
Here we go
movie.
round the
But
mulberry
speaking of
bush, the mulberry
reflections,
bush.
I noticed something really interesting
The
about
mulberry
the
bush.
Tweedles while reading the primary resource I used for this episode, the Annotated Alice. One of the annotations points out that Dumb and Dee are not just identical, they mirror each other and are known as enantiomorphs. If you look at this illustration of them, you'll see that one has his right hand
So a antiomorphs, what would that be? That sounds weird. I don't even think I've ever heard that term. Like, I've heard of the term doppelganger, but I think that's different, isn't it? Anyway, go.
extended, while the other has his left. And the same thing happens in the 1951 Alice, showing just how detail-oriented their artists used to be. After Dee and Dumb finish their etiquette lesson, they start an absurdly long poem about a walrus and a carpenter. And normally I wouldn't want to get sidetracked, but screw it, we have time. It's actually a pretty funny story.
Love it.
And a little bit sad.
Is it?
Basically, a walrus and a carpenter
Oh,
are
yes.
walking on the beach.
Oh, this story always broke my heart every time. Every time. Like, this traumatized me when I was a kid, you guys. It traumatized me. Like, those poor little oysters. Those poor little oysters.
On
Go.
a bright, sunshiny night, wishing that somebody would clean up all the sand. Then they convince a family of oysters, baby oysters, mind you, to walk on the beach with them, which is apparently
poor
possible
oysters.
due to the single foot that oyster larvae have. After that, they eat the oysters, betraying the trust their new friends had placed in them, and only feeling a little guilty about it when all was said and done.
So messed
All
up.
this pointless and
So messed up.
But if you're
Dude, the fact that they kept it in the freaking... The fact that they kept it in, like, the Disney movie still baffles me to this day. I'm just like, those poor oysters. I mean, granted, it's probably... How do I put it? It's probably a story that's meant to, like, teach stranger danger, right? That's what I'm thinking. Like, because we always teach that to children in a lot of different ways. Like, think about, like, Little Red Riding Hood and stories like that. Like, if you look at a lot of Grimm's fairy tales, they're very, like, fairy tales, just fairy tales in general, they have, like, cautionary messages in them. It's like you have to, like, look at all the in-betweens with it. And I get that, but at the same time, I'm just like, dude, them poor little oysters. And then they had to make them so cute. I was so mad. I was so mad. I cried for like 5 to 10 minutes when I was like 6 years old seeing that. I was like, the poor babies. No.
Big cartoony tears over the young oyster's fate.
Right?
You're happy to know that in the stage play, they get revenge.
Oh,
Ghosts
do
of
they?
the oysters
Do
come back
they?
and attack the walrus and carpenter in their sleep by stomping on their chest with their tiny little larva feet. Now, unlike the poem about the Tweedles, the walrus and the carpenter...
Wait, hold on. Like, stepped on their chest? What do you mean by that? Like, did they, like...
When
I'm
all
confused.
was said and
Okay.
done, The poem is pointless, and the
Yeah.
ending is pretty messed up.
Yeah.
If you're crying big cartoony tears over the young oyster's fate, you'll be happy to know that in the stage play, they get revenge.
Okay.
The ghosts of the oysters come back and attack the walrus and carpenter in their sleep by stomping on their chest with their tiny little larva feet. Now,
But they ate them. They ate them. So would it be like, I don't know, would it be like Alien then? Did something like Alien happen? Did like the oysters just popped out of their belly like, bleh, or something like that? I don't know. Like, I'm confused. Like, how the hell would they stomp on their chest if they ate them? Bro, I'm reading Manuel. What am I hearing now? Yeah, like, okay, so this story was always traumatizing for me as a kid because, again, the oysters get eaten in the end and they're so cute. So of course, like, a lot of kids probably cried to that. I know I was one of them. But like, how would that mean they got their revenge by stomping on the chest if they were eaten? Unless they went all alien and like popped out of them like bleh. Like, that's the only thing I could think of. God, that's fucked up. That's fucked up if that's the case. Anyway, continue.
The walrus and the carpenter
Oh,
is
God.
Lewis Carroll original, and
The shit that we
tempting,
teach
it's
children.
Probably not worth it to comb through for any symbolism or hidden meaning. I say this because the annotated Alice includes a letter from Carroll himself where he mentions.
Ooh, or what if it went back up the way that it came? Ew! Like, oh god, they threw up the oysters and then the oysters attacked them like, brah, revenge!
Telling illustrator John Tenniel that he could pick any
Ew.
partner for the walrus that he wanted as long as it had 3 syllables, like the word carpenter, and made
Like,
for an
ew.
interesting drawing. Some alternates he suggested were baronet and butterfly, but Tenniel went with carpenter in the end. Lewis Carroll, or Charles Dodgson, was an eccentric weirdo.
I mean, to be fair, Carpenter, to be honest, Carpenter is a very, like, dude, Jesus was a carpenter. Like, they've always used that occupation for a lot of, like, just in general, characters in literature that are supposed to be humble. But, I don't know. Anyway.
Whose personal life and niche interests always made their way into his written works.
Yeah.
But as you can see, he didn't let them get in the way of telling an entertaining story that audiences would love.
Yeah.
His illustrator expressed concern over how he could draw a carpenter in an entertaining way. Carroll listened and said that he could replace it as long as it didn't mess with the poem's structure. Where another author might have said no, because their dad was a carpenter and he loved to eat oysters and was raised by walruses, allowing their personal attachment to sabotage their work.
Oh, so that's where it came from. Okay, gotcha. So, like, it was like a little old folktale from family members that he incorporated. I love, dude, this is why I love learning about fairy tales and why I love learning about just stories and origins, because then you get to see, like, the authors, you get to hear about, like, the author's inspirations or the artist's inspirations on how this ties into this. Like, it's like a little puzzle piece. It's like a bunch of puzzle pieces put together.
That were necessary, but make sure it really is the vision that you're defending and not your ego.
Yeah.
Anyway, once the poem ends, we get a scene that's exclusive to the book.
Oh.
Dee and Dum take Alice to the Red King, who's sleeping nearby, probably referencing that kings in chess barely move.
Yeah.
They debate what he could be dreaming about. Dee and Dum are adamant that he's dreaming about Alice, but this opens up a whole can of worms and a wormhole, because Alice is dreaming about the king while the king dreams about Alice, who's dreaming about the king while the king dreams about Alice, who's dreaming about the king while he's dreaming about Alice, who dreams about him while he's dreaming about her, who's dreaming about him.
What? Oh god, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
Grabs her by the wrist and points at the ground with a fear-stricken face. The new white rattle he just bought.
Why is the king dreaming about a little girl? Why is the little girl dreaming about the king? That's a little disturbing if you ask me, but anyway.
Yesterday is broken and Tweedledee is to blame. So they recruit Alice to help them suit up for a duel, just like in the nursery rhyme. Now, if you're watching this episode on YouTube or Spotify, then you can see the rattle in the illustration. And it's a little known fact that Carroll did not like this illustration.
Oh?
You want to know why? Pause the video to leave your guess in a comment.
hey, if it was in a kingdom setting, that would be normal. I mean, yeah, like, dude, history, oh my God. Like, history, like, when you think about it back in the day, like, it's so interesting how, like, things have developed now. Like, here in this day and age, like, it's like if anybody, like, even dudes that, like, date 18-year-old girls get heat sometimes. Like, it's hard for me as, like, someone in this day and age to picture that, because we know, at least socially speaking, that that's not normal anymore. That's not okay mentally, right? But back then it was okay. It's just like, yep. I mean, hell, there was even like, marriage betrothals between people that had huge age gaps, like 20, 30 years, and I'm sitting there like, oh my God. Like, it's so messed up. Like, or there was I've even heard about, like, some kings and, like, nobles being, I guess, what we would consider in this day and age, like, groomers, because they would wait until their bride is of childbearing age and crap like that. I was like, it's so weird to look back into history, and, like, it's hard to wrap your head around about the normalcies of things back then, and it's almost sad, really. Like, God. Anyway, continue.
But the real answer
Ugh.
is dot dot dot.
Dot,
It's
dot.
the wrong kind of rattle. John
Yeah?
drew what's called a watchman's rattle instead of a children's rattle. Now it
Oh, wait, hold on, go back. Wait, a rattle. So he was upset
like
about
a
the rattle.
nursery rhyme. Now, if you're watching this episode on YouTube,
I
or
got
Spotify,
distracted. My
then
bad,
you can
y'all.
see the rattle in the illustration, and it's a little known fact that Carol did not like this illustration. Do
Okay.
you want to know why? Pause the video to leave your guess in a comment. But the real answer is dot dot dot. It's the wrong kind of rattle. John drew what's called a watchman's rattle instead of a children's rattle. Nowadays, watchman's rattles are mostly used as noisemakers.
Yeah, they're like
parties,
little
but apparently
noisemakers.
They were notoriously easy to break.
Yeah.
Which is why Tenniel went with this version for the broken rattle. I don't know why Carol didn't just request Tenniel change the rattle before it was published, but my guess is that it escaped his vision on the first pass, and then he didn't.
He probably, like, skimmed through, like, the illustrations, like, yeah, they look good. There you go.
Notice it until it was too late. Well,
right.
Dumb have gotta settle the score over this broken rattle situation. And
yeah.
After Alice armors up the Tweedles with pots, pans, cushions, and blankets, they're ready to fight. But they're immediately interrupted.
I just picture them now. Like, why does that make me think of? We had, like, a couple of years ago, our neighbor across the street. He has 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and we came home one day. I can't remember from where, but me and the girls and my BF, like, drove past into the garage, looked across the street, and saw that his kids had, like, the giant, like, bubble suits. And they just kept, like, ramming into each other, just like the big giant, like, inflatable bubble suits, just like burr, burr. I don't know why it makes me think of that, but it does. Like, I can just picture them both, like, running into each other and just bouncing back. Go.
By a monstrous crow that scares them away. Again, just like the nursery rhyme. Interestingly, the book describes the crow as casting a giant shadow over the forest, and there's a theory that this is a reference to the eclipse of Tails. After the Lydians and the Medes had been engaged in a grueling war for 5 years, one of their battles was interrupted by an eclipse, and the day suddenly turning to night convinced the leaders to end the conflict and negotiate peace. Personally, I think the similarity in themes is just a coincidence.
That's also the other thing in history. This is why I was always a history kid, y'all. And honestly, this is why I have to take everything with a grain of salt when it comes to things. Because, like, dude, two groups of people stopped fighting back in the day over an eclipse because they probably didn't even understand what an eclipse was. They just probably saw it as, like, a sign from the gods, like, we should make peace. We have upset the gods, so we must make peace. It's like, funny how our society shapes over religion. Anyway, go.
But I'll take any excuse to talk mythology. Now, I will say that as pointless as the Tweedles were in the live-action movies, they did manage to reference the original rhyme in each one. In Birdie's movie, they're picked up by a giant bird, but I think it's a Jub-Jub bird. Which
it is the Jub-Jub bird. I remember now. Yeah.
Poem. And in Through the Looking Glass, we see the young Dee and Dum duel each other in the snow. They even break their weapons and start crying, which has got to be a reference to the broken rattle situation. In the book, though, Alice is just as scared of the bird as they
just look like really sad toddlers in the snow, like me.
are. So she runs deeper into the wood to escape it. She eventually finds a safe haven, but she can still feel the terrific wind from its flapping wings.
Yes.
And then she notices off in the distance, someone's shawl is blowing away.
Interesting. Okay, chapter 5, wool and water. Got it.
You see, unlike some people, Alice had all the makings of a varsity athlete, so she caught the shawl out of the air without a problem, and she quickly found its owner, the White Queen. The White Queen shows up
again. Look at that. Look at her. Like, I love how they did her makeup in this, because it's like she's just all white, like all white, like completely albino, but then you look at, like, you got the black nails, you got the black lipstick, you got the black eyebrows and eyeliner. I love it. I love the contrast of it. It's interesting. Anyway.
Movies as well.
So elegant.
Different personality than the
and I love all the stuff that she mixes together. It's so questionable.
One in the book. Lewis Carroll described as fancy, gentle, stupid, fat, and pale, helpless as an infant, and with a slow, maundering, bewildered air about her, just suggesting imbecility, never quite passing into it. The movie's White Queen is a bit aloof, but she's definitely not an imbecile. She's also the queen of...
I notice it's like the White Queen in this... Okay, so they're saying like she's more of this... fancy, gentle, stupid, fat, and pale, helpless as an infant, with a slow, maundering, bewildered air. So... I noticed they were trying to do that a little bit. Again, she seems more like, how do I put it? The princess that's trying to be elegant and then just has those random moments of, like, ditziness.
Never quite passing
like, that's what I always thought.
White Queen is a bit aloof.
A little aloof, yeah.
Not an imbecile.
Yeah.
She's also the Queen of Hearts' sister. In that universe, the Queen of Hearts and Red...
Again, Helena Bonham Carter, like, did so good with it. And it's interesting how they did her hair. Like, I think they were just trying to aim for, like let's make her head look like a heart, because she's the Queen of Hearts. Oh, I love it.
The same character, but that is thankfully not the case in the book. The book Alice's interaction with the White Queen is pretty funny. After she removes the shawl and fixes up the Queen's outfit, which was in all kinds of disarray, the Queen fills her in on some gossip. The King's messenger is in prison, although he won't actually
the Mad Hatter
for another few weeks. Typical Looking Glass logic. What makes this bit of gossip particularly interesting, though, is that the accompanying illustration shows the Mad Hatter in jail looking very sad. And I could be wrong, but I think this inspired the Hatter's arrest in the 2010 adaptation.
Oh, I love you, I love you, I love you.
In the middle of talking to the White Queen, Alice bursts into tears over how lonely she is. And the Queen gives her a motivational speech that I think rivals the one that Yule gave to Junior in Cool Runnings. She says, "Oh, don't go on like that. Consider what a great girl you are. Consider what a long way you've come today. Consider what o'clock it is. Consider anything. Only don't cry."
Boo-hoo.
That's the way it's done. Nobody can do two things at once.
That's true.
Honestly, solid advice.
That is.
Not really a long-term solution for handling those deep wounds that our childhoods all gave us, but if you got to get yourself together on a moment.
It's like, don't let the essentially, don't let the traumas control you guys. Don't let the trauma control your mental health. You can do it. I believes in you. Aqua Candy believes in you guys. Go touch grass. You will be okay, I promise.
Notice, a little distraction can go a long way. Now, the Queen also gives us a quote that fans of the live-action movie will recognize. She tells Alice that sometimes she believes 6 impossible things before breakfast. This quote is attributed to her dad in the movie, and she
being the 10 impossible things before breakfast. I love it. I love that. I honestly love that. I try to do that. So if I'm in a good mood, if I wake up in a good mood in the morning, sometimes I'll think about it. I'll just be like, 10 impossible things before breakfast. Yes.
uses it as motivation
So
in
cute.
moments of self-doubt.
Sometimes I believe as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast.
Or was it 6 impossible things? Maybe I got the number wrong. It's fine, you guys. Not really, but it's okay. Again, I love the whimsy of it. And again, like when it comes down to, I love when her dad in the beginning is just like, she's like, am I mad? He's just like, yes, you're absolutely mad. You're completely mad, I'm afraid. But guess what? All the best people are. It's like, yes.
Once again, the White Queen shawl blows away in the wind, and she has to chase after it. Apparently, her long, linear pursuits were a reference to how the Queen moves on a chessboard, which you can also...
Being sane is too normal. Being normal is boring, okay? I'd rather be insane.
So see in our animations. Meanwhile, Alice jumps over a little brook and enters the 5th square.
Yes. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Trying to not get copyrighted.
In fashion, Alice continues to transport to new locations instantly, and now she's in a little shop that's run by a sheep.
I don't know if I will, but still.
The sheep hands Alice a pair of knitting needles, which turn into oars, and suddenly they're sitting in a rowboat, giving us this chapter's title, Wool and Water. But again, they change locations quick. This time, they're back at the store, and Alice wants to buy an egg. Because she doesn't want an egg in trying times.
What the fuck?
Something weird happens when she goes to take it off the shelf.
Why do I feel like that's a reference to, like, the egg prices right now? Like, why are, like, eggs are just so expensive anymore? Go.
As she walks toward the egg, it gets further away. Another example of logic being reversed in the looking glass. Alice catches on and starts walking backwards, away from the egg, and this seems to do the trick. Suddenly, she's no longer in the store. She's in the forest, and the egg is at the end of the path, beyond the babbling brook. Upon approaching the brook, Alice jumps over it and enters the 6th square, the domain of Humpty Dumpty.
Do, 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 do. Chapter 6, Humpty Dumpty, yes.
So if you're a regular watcher of my content, you might have seen that earlier this year, I revisited Humpty Dumpty's messed up origins. So it's inevitable that I'm going to tread on some of the same territory in this episode. That being said, this time around, I'm going to focus on Humpty Dumpty and his role in...
If I remember, that was... the first King Henry? I don't want to say King Henry the First, but it was right after... I think the War of the Roses, like it was after the Plantagenet's reign in medieval times. He was the king after the Plantagenets fell, if I remember correctly, and he was super paranoid. I mean, super paranoid. The man went crazy of paranoia because, dude, he probably had some PTSD because I think he was the one that slain the previous king in order to obtain the crown for king, if I remember, historically speaking. Which is where I think he is the, if I remember, King Henry VIII's, one of his ancestors, if I remember. So, like, I think his was, like, the start of, like, the Tudor period. I can't remember. I do know a lot about English history as well as European history, but I don't know specifically, okay? Like, nobody quote me. I'm not a professional historian, but yeah, anyway.
Story as opposed to the nursery rhyme character who may or may not have been inspired by a deformed king. If you want to learn about him, you could check that episode out. I'll put a link on screen and in the description if I remember. Now, when Alice first meets Humpty Dumpty, he doesn't even have to introduce himself. She simply looks at him and says, "It can't be anybody else. I'm certain of it," as if his name were written all over his face. That's a pretty wild thing to say when you're describing someone with a name like Humpty Dumpty.
I mean, before that, like, if you think about it, like, Humpty Dumpty, before it, like, the whole Alice in Wonderland thing, like, Humpty Dumpty was a regular nursery rhyme for children of that time frame, so that makes sense. That would be like, dude, that would be like a modern day kid spotting Mickey Mouse, okay? Like, I'm just saying, anyway.
But when you see how John Tenniel drew him, it's hard to disagree. It's kind of like Gunther. I just looked at him and knew that had to be his name. It couldn't be anything else.
So cute.
Although I do call him
Puppers.
Humpty Dumpty when he's perched somewhere weird. I also feel like I have to mention this or I'm going to get a bunch of comments correcting me. But
Okay.
Tenniel's illustration of Humpty Dumpty as an egg, while the most famous and influential, was not the first of its kind.
Yeah.
The annotated Alice mentions that in 1843, 22 years...
Yeah, if I remember correctly, like, Humpty Dumpty wasn't even originally an egg. I think I don't even remember what Humpty Dumpty was. That is, I'm back. A small email leads me to took off everything on my radiator and replace it myself. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, we're continuing on we're still on Alice in Wonderland, or Alice Through the Looking Glass Origins. But we're covering Humpty Dumpty. Because apparently Humpty Dumpty makes an appearance in Alice in Wonderland in the original books. And I was just stating that, yeah, the original Humpty Dumpty was not an egg. I don't remember what he was, but he was not an egg. If that makes sense. He was something else, but I can't remember. Because if you remember in the original nursery rhyme, it doesn't say what he is. All it says is like Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. Like, it doesn't say whether he was an egg or not. And people just assumed that he was. I guess. Go.
Before the second Alice book was published, Samuel Edward Maberly, an Oxford alumni just like Carol, illustrated an accordion-style frizz that told Humpty's story as the pages were unfolded. It was titled The Pictorial Humpty Dumpty. I also thought that was mentioning because Alice recognizing Humpty implies that she had seen him depicted somewhere before. Alice's interaction with Humpty kind of reminds me of her encounters with the Cheshire Cat and Caterpillar.
Like, my favorite is the Cheshire Cat. I love the Cheshire Cat. But again, I don't know if it's pronounced Cheshire or Cheshire. I've heard it both ways, so anyway.
Eggman clearly fancies himself and tries to show off his superior intellect to Alice by asking her nonsensical riddles and using big fancy words incorrectly.
Isn't a word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
I don't think it means what I think it means, yes. I love the Princess Bride. I love how he just used that. It's like, I don't know what you think it means. I think it means. My name is Indigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Go.
It means exactly what he intends it to mean. No more or less. With this in mind, Alice asks the master of linguistics to help her understand the Jabberwocky poem from earlier. So he defines some of the nonsense words of Carol's invention.
Oh, okay. So these are the definitions for the random words in the Jabberwocky poem. Okay, so Brillig means 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the time when you begin broiling things for dinner. Okay, so Brillig is 4 o'clock. Got it. Slithy, or lithe, active and slimy. Okay. Toves, something like badgers, lizards, and corkscrews. What? They make their nests under sundials. Also, they live on cheese. What? So are toves are like mice? Toves are like mice. Gyre, to go around and ground like a gyre, so go around and ground like a gyroscope. Okay. And then gimbal, to make holes like a gimlet. What the hell is a gimlet? I have no idea. What the hell is a gimlet? People, somebody enlighten me with that, I guess. What is a gimlet? Go.
Mimsy and Borogrove. Here's a list of those definitions for those who are really curious, but
And then Wabe, the grass plot around the sundial. Mimsy, a flimsy and miserable. I've heard of Mimsy, but I didn't know it meant flimsy and miserable. My legs are in pain. Why are your legs are in pain? The bus broke down, so I had to walk to the scare event. Ah, okay. I hope your legs feel better. I do. I hope everybody has a happy Halloween today. I really do. Yes. Bora Grove, a thing, shabby looking bird with its feathers sticking out all around like a live mop. So that's what a Bora Grove is. Okay. And then a mome rat. Oh, they're separate. Those are two separate words. I was referred to them as the mome rats. The mome rats. I remember the mome rats. So those are two separate words. I didn't know that. Okay. So mome might mean from home, and wrath, a sort of green pig. The mome rats. And then outgrabe, something between bellowing and whistling with a kind of sneeze in the middle. Got it. Okay, interesting.
There's no guarantee that Humpty's actually right about any of these. Plus, there are a few words like Vorpal Sword that Carol himself even admits he doesn't know where they came from. In other words, he pulled them out of the deep, dark recesses of his ass.
Yeah, essentially.
After the experimentative and questionably accurate explanation of the Jabberwocky, he starts spouting off a different ditty. This one is about a time where he wanted to eat some fish, but the fish would not come willingly, so he tried to break down their door. Sadly, we don't get to hear the end, though, because
not
Humpty
to fish.
Ends the poem on a dime and says goodbye before continuing to quietly sit on the wall and disregard Alice's existence. She's a little irritated by this confusing conclusion and storms off into the forest. But not long after, she hears a loud
I mean, I would be frustrated too, but yeah.
crash, and there's reason to believe it was the sound of Humpty Dumpty's great fall.
Yep. The big crash. The crash of doom. I went past it.
Some fish, but the fish would not come willingly, so he tried to break down their door. Sadly, we don't get to hear the end, though, because Humpty Dumpty ends the poem on a dime and says goodbye before continuing to quietly sit on the wall and disregard Alice's existence. She's a little irritated by this confusing conclusion and
I'd be
storms
mad
off
too.
into the forest. But not long after, she hears a loud crash, and there's reason to believe it was the sound of Humpty Dumpty's great fall.
Yep. Yay, another chapter. All right, The Lion and the Unicorn. I think I've heard of this poem.
Next moment, Alice sees all the king's horses and men marching through the woods in Humpty's direction.
Yep.
Although they aren't very good marchers. Both the men and horses are constantly tripping over each other. Humpty Dumpty unfortunately does not show up in the animated adaptation, but he does make a quick little cameo after the live-action Alice goes through the looking glass. While walking across the chessboard, which is to the original story, she startles him and he falls to the floor. Then, all the king's horses and men show up to try and help, just like the poem and the story. But Book Alice wants to escape the chaotic scene of the knights helping Humpty, so she leaves the forest and encounters the White King, whose other messenger, the March Hare, delivers a special message. After giving the king a ham sandwich, he proceeds to scream in his ear that the Lion and the Unicorn are fighting for the crown again. Then all three of them take off running, hoping to witness the fight before it's over. This is another example.
Yes, this was also
a nursery rhyme into the story.
Yeah, I remember this one. Yeah, it is a nursery rhyme. The lion and the unicorn were fighting for the crown. The lion beat the unicorn all about the town. Some gave them white bread and some gave them brown. Some gave them plum cake and sent them out of town. I remember that one. I actually had that one in my nursery rhyme book when I was a kid. So yeah, I remember this one. Interesting. I didn't know they incorporated that. Cool.
One, as you'd expect, is called The Lion and the Unicorn. And the lyrics go, the lion and the unicorn were fighting for the crown. The lion beat the unicorn all around the town. Some gave them white bread, some gave them brown, some gave them plum cake and sent them out of town. Now to those wondering what kind of conflict a lion and unicorn might have with each other, this one goes way far back and gets political. For the unicorn is Scotland's national animal, while the lion is England's, and their poetic pugilism may be a metaphor for
So it's a metaphor for Scotland and England's endless feud. Oh my god. I mean, that makes sense. That totally makes sense, because like I think England and Scotland, like, it runs deep. It runs deep. I'm telling you, that feud runs deep. Go.
Many wars the two countries have fought against each other. I'll
Yeah.
be honest, I am not sure what the bread and cake are supposed to represent, if anything, so that could actually be evidence that the rhyme has nothing to do with their wars. Either way, the Oxford Dictionary of Nursery Rhymes suggests that the rhyme was popularized in the 17th century with the union of Scotland and England, and the resulting British coat of arms featuring the Scottish unicorn and the British lion.
I mean, that would make sense. Like, that would definitely make sense, but I would say the cake and the dessert, maybe would that be like, maybe that's like a metaphor of them fighting over land or something like that. I don't know, because again, dude, their feud runs deep. Like, Scotland, for the longest time, I think, had been fighting for independence from England. So like, there's dude, it goes back and forth. It literally goes back and forth. It runs deep. Never commit, dude, never compare a Scotsman to a British man. They will end you. They will end you. They're just like, nope. The feud runs deep. Go.
Luckily, this fight doesn't end up as bloody as the War for Scottish Independence or the Battle of Wooing, but the unicorn is ultimately declared the victor and demands some of the aforementioned plum cake from the king. There's also a
I mean, I can't even say much with that. You know why? Because as an American, if I look in my ancestry, I actually have both British and Scottish ancestry. Along with Welsh as well. Let's see, there's Welsh, Scottish, Irish, British, Dutch, like German, a little bit of Italian. Like, I'm like, literally majority of like white Americans, I hate to say it, we're just a bunch of European mutts that escapade from Europe. Nobody come at me for that. It's fine. It's fine. Dude, as a white person, I've accepted it. I'm just a Europe. I'm just like, all my ancestors have made me into this. Go.
Where the unicorn first sees Alice and is immediately disgusted at the sight of a child, she always imagined as fabulous monsters. Surprisingly, Alice isn't offended by this characterization, though, because she always thought of unicorns the same way, and in the end, both she and the unicorn agree to believe in each other now that they've seen each other. After this exchange, the lion comes over and starts playing 20 questions with Alice, asking her if she's an animal, a vegetable, or a mineral. But they don't get too deep into this, because then he tells her to hand out the plum cakes. As she's
like, give me cake
to her new friends, they start to argue over who's getting more.
Oh
when
my god,
suddenly,
yeah.
The sound of drums rings through the air and startles Alice so much that she runs away and jumps over the next brook.
That's fair. If, dude, two people fighting in front of me, I'm like, okay, I'm walking away until you guys finish your feud. I'm not doing this. I feel it. I feel it in my soul. It actually kind of reminds me, there was a story I was reading that had to do with like a poly relationship, and it was this girl with these with twin brothers, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, okay. And as I continued to read, I actually had to stop reading because I was so sick and tired of hearing the brothers fight with each other over her. I'm like, who wrote this? Who fucking wrote this? Like, do people like is there women out there that just like the idea of two men fighting over them or something? Like, that would annoy the fuck out of me. It's like, at that point, I would just pick one person. This is just coming from me as a monogamous person, right? Just being like, no, I'm not gonna hear you guys arguing all the time. I'm gonna pick a relationship with one person. With this, like, we're settling this now. It's like, I don't know why my brain went to that thought process, but it did, because I'm like, dude, like, when two people start arguing and they wonder, it's funny, there would be times I would get into arguments with like my ex-husband, and then and it would be like in my brain I would wonder why everybody would run away, and it's like, oh yeah, they don't want to hear none of this nonsense either. Like, I don't blame you if you want to walk away from people arguing. Like, I get tired of it. Let's go.
Moving to the 7th square.
I'm sorry, my brain is just so random today. It's my own invention. Yes.
It turns out that Alice was justified in being afraid because almost immediately after entering the 7th square, the Red Knight shows up and declares her his prisoner. Lucky for Alice, the White Knight appears in the nick of time and the two battle. In true Carolian fashion, it's a ridiculous battle where the two use clubs to knock each other off their horses over and over again. I'd imagine it was an entertaining spectacle, but eventually the Red Knight decides this prisoner just ain't worth it and rides off.
My brain just went to like medieval jousting when it comes to that image.
Now Alice is left alone with the White Knight, who some Carolians theorize represented Lewis Carroll himself due to their similarities. From the way the character is described with his mild blue eyes to his fascination with unusual and impractical inventions, like
I mean, that makes sense. Like, dude, there's a lot of stories where authors auto-insert themselves. If you pay attention to a lot of the stories you read and find out who the author is, like, you will pick it up real quick. Real quick. There's a lot of authors that just auto-insert themselves into their stories.
Anklets that protect his feet from shark bites. Additionally, the White Knight is uncharacteristically kind to Alice compared to the other Wonderland residents. He does pull on her hair multiple times to stop himself from falling off his horse, which doesn't really work, but he doesn't boss her around or call her names, and I don't doubt that Carol would want his proxy to be nice to Alice. Next, the knight serenades Alice, and this gets real strange.
Oh no, don't you dare. Don't you dare.
Alice is kind of crushing on the knight. Tell me what you think. The things that Alice saw in her journey.
I know why he did this, you fucking creep. You fucking creep. Ah! Ew. Ew. Give me a second, you guys. I need a sip of my coffee. I already know where this is going. I'm just trying to mentally prepare myself for it. Again, we got to try to separate the author from the artwork and the story, right? Yeah, you're being a fucking creep with this part. I guarantee I already know where this is going. I've seen too many creepy things to know where this is going. Anyway, go.
Through the looking glass, this was the one that she always remembered most clearly. Years afterward, she could still bring the whole scene back again, as if it had been only yesterday. The mild blue eyes and kindly smile of the knight, the setting sun gleaming through his hair and shining on his armor in a blaze of light that quite dazzled her. I don't know. There's obviously nothing explicit about it, but it's just
no. But it's the fact that he's no. There's anything explicit about it. Yes, but the fact that he is writing about a little girl attracted to a character that he auto-inserted himself as, like that's all the ick. All the ick, you guys. Go.
Meets a lot
God.
Of Wonderland and Looking Glass
so messed up.
But for some reason, the knight, the potential Carol stand-in, is the only one that she has this deeply appreciative monologue for. I wonder if this is how Carol hoped Alice would remember him when she looked back on her childhood. As a literal knight in shining armor, with dazzling eyes, luscious hair, and a beautiful singing voice. But it doesn't end there. After the knight escorts Alice to the edge of the wood, he turns to leave her and asks that she stand there and wave a handkerchief until he's out of sight. You know, like a fair maiden would do for a knight that she was in love with before he rode off to war. Well, she doesn't pick up on any creepy vibe, so she happily obliges. She stands there waving as the knight rides off on his horse.
Like, bye-bye.
Every few steps. Now, normally I would pivot to the next chapter at this point, but I actually have a deleted scene that I think some of you will appreciate.
Oh, really?
The incident is known as The Wasp in a Wig, and it's pretty famous among Lewis Carroll's fan base. I'm not going to bother going into too much detail because there's a reason that Carroll took this one out.
Oh,
Granted,
yeah?
he didn't actually give us one, but in my opinion, it's really not that entertaining and doesn't add that much value. Basically,
Okay.
there's just a sad wasp leaning against a tree and feeling sorry for himself because he's in an ugly, ill-fitting wig. Alice tries to make him feel better by reading him the newspaper and finding a more comfortable spot for him to sit, but he continues being rude to her until she gets sick of him and walks away.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole thing.
Really?
The rest of the story, we have no idea what it means. Was Carol making fun of the 17th and 18th century fashion trends of wearing wigs? Was this an inside joke about a local tradesman that both he and Alice knew who wore an unkempt wig like the wasp?
Like, I would
Sadly,
need more
we'll never know
context.
for sure. But after Alice gets fed up with him, she walks back up to the babbling brook and jumps over it.
Yeah. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, Queen Alice. Okay. Yes,
When
I
Alice
think I
lands on
remember
the eighth
this.
and final square, she ends up in a flower bed and realizes there's an extravagant golden crown on her head. Also, on her left and right side are the Red Queen and the White Queen, who immediately start lecturing her that she should only speak when spoken to, only tell the truth, to think before she speaks, and to write it down afterwards. The queens are very demanding and judgmental. They grill Alice on her math skills, on her phonics knowledge. They grill her on how bread is made, which is not on a grill.
Dude, that just sends me into like the PTSD that I got from my mom and my grandma wanting me to be raised as a prim and proper young lady.
Their flowers are picked in the garden.
That's all that makes me think of.
What's the cause of lightning? I'm pretty sure we talked about this in my original Alice in Wonderland episode, and I might have actually said it earlier. But I don't know. I've been here a while. But the Queen's Pop Quiz and all the times that Alice has been asked to recite poetry were inspired by a real practice in Victorian times where children were trained in party pieces, performances they could give to entertain the adults in their lives and show off their intelligence, memorization skills, poise, etc.
Dude, hold up. Like, look, you guys, it's a self-portrait of me and my childhood trauma. Look, there's my grandma and my mom dancing together. They're like, yes, Candy, play some more of the piano, but I don't know anything. I've been playing with my feet because I get so sick and tired of learning piano. They're like, we don't care. Play your piano and sing with your beautiful operatic voice. No! It's like, let me just be normal. I don't want to sit here and play piano and sing for you. I don't want to do that. God. It's okay. It's okay. I'm just projecting, you guys. We're just projecting here. Okay, go. Speaking of derp.
Show off their intelligence, memorization skills, poise, etc. This practice hasn't completely died out in the West.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. This has not died out in the West. Like, at all. And then I was also raised in the setting of, oh, a child should be seen and not heard. Fuck you! I'm gonna make some noise anyway! I'm gonna be the noisy child that pisses you off, Fafa! Okay, I'm done.
Though, anyone with kids in their lives can tell you those little shits love to show off. And
yeah,
so
they do.
Parents.
They do.
But their highlight reels aren't really reciting poetry or spouting off fun facts. Some kids play instruments, some do kickflips, and others Fortnite dance. But we don't need those kids. Anyway, all this back and forth wears out the...
Like, don't get me wrong, like, I know there are kids that like to show off, but like, it's like I was just forced into these situations to show off for people. I didn't want to, necessarily. I was forced to do it. Anyway. God.
Red and white queens who promptly fall asleep in Alice's lap. And unfortunately for Alice, they are heavy as hell. Luckily, though, this is a dream. And again, she's instantly transported somewhere else, in front of an ornate, arched doorway with the words, Queen Alice, written above it. Then, a frog kicks open the door for her. On the other side is an extravagant banquet with 50 guests of all kinds, including animals and flowers, and the queens have apparently woken up as well.
Oh,
Alice
yeah?
doesn't actually get to eat at this banquet, though, because the queens keep introducing
Hold
her
up.
to the food.
What the fuck is that? It's a turkey leg. It's a turkey leg with arms and feet. What the fuck? I ain't eating that. I don't trust that. Somebody radiated that with poison or something to grow legs and arms.
Before she can eat it, and then swapping it out with something new.
Yeah.
Eventually, Alice is asked to give a toast, but that too is interrupted before she can even start. The
Yeah.
White Queen grabs her by the hair and says, "Take care of yourself. Something's going to happen."
The
And
fuck?
happen it did. The scene was pure chaos.
Uh-huh.
Candles grew as tall as the ceiling. The bottles started flying around the room using little plates as wings and
Oh,
feet
God.
for their legs. The
Like
White Queen
chaos.
and Leg of Mutton had switched places, so now she
Essentially just chaos erupted in Wonderland, as per usual. Go.
was sinking into a bowl of soup. Other guests were lying with their faces down in their food. And eventually, Alice hit her breaking point. While shouting that she can't stand this any longer,
Right?
she grabs the tablecloth with both hands and yanks it off the table, sending everything crashing to the floor.
To be fair, as an autistic that gets sensory overloads really easily from shit like people being all over the place, like, I feel this. I feel this in my soul. Like, there are just those moments when everybody's like talking and blah blah blah, like all the noises. I'm like, I'm just ready to just wreck everybody's shit, to be like, stop it! Be like, shut up! You're making my brain hurt. Shaking and waking. Got it.
Now that Alice has taken control of the situation, she's ready to lash out at the Red Queen. Only when she turns to yell at her, she finds the queen has shrunken down to the size of a kitten and is running around in circles. Alice
Kitty!
picks up the Red Queen and shakes her back and forth with all
She's
her might.
little.
And strangely, the queen didn't
She turned into a dolly, you guys.
resist at all. But she did seem to transform. Her eyes became green, and
Dinah!
her body became fat and softer and rounder, until the truth was revealed. The
She's a kitty cat. Meow meow.
Red Queen was the Black Kitten.
Do 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 do. Not trying to get copyrighted. Which dreamed it? Okay.
When Alice
Interesting.
realizes what just happened, she gets
Let me see. We got about let's see. It is okay. So we're like 46 minutes in. We're almost there. We're almost there. I'll probably end the stream after this video because my goodness, we went on a roller coaster of things so far. Yes. All right, let's continue.
a little bit frustrated and starts scolding the black cat for waking her up from her dream with her loud purring. And I can't help but point out how, now that we're back in the real world, Alice is the unruly tyrant and scold her once again. Maybe that's why the queens were so critical of her. They were just giving her a taste of her own medicine. Following that line of thought, Alice also notices that the white kitten is still being cleaned by its mother. So maybe that's why the White Queen was so disheveled and untidy when Alice met her in the dream. And maybe Dinah turned into Humpty Dumpty. Carol does not point out all the connections, though. In fact, before the story ends, he actually reminds us that we still don't know whether the Red King was dreaming of Alice, or if she was dreaming of him, or if he was dreaming of her while she was dreaming. And instead of giving us a satisfying answer, he ends Alice's adventure with a poem about the day that started it all. I don't want to recite the entire thing to you because I'm...
Okay, so I'll recite it since I'm on stream, okay? A boat... Oh, I fell asleep. Oh, my days. Oh, you did? It's okay, my dude. We're almost towards the end of the video and probably towards the end of my stream. This was a long video. I didn't even realize how long it was until I clicked on it. Or no, before that, I think I was like, yeah, this is like a 49-minute video, so of course it's going to be enough for a stream, hopefully. But yeah, I'm going to read this one out loud for everybody. So he ends it with a poem. Okay, the poem is... A boat beneath a sunny sky, lingering onward dreamily, in an evening of July, children three that nestle near, eager eye and willing ear, pleased a simple tale to hear. Long has paled that sunny sky, echoes fade and memories die. Autumn frosts have slain July, still she haunts me, phantom-wise, Alice moving under the skies, never seen by waking eyes. Children yet the tale to hear, eager eye and willing ear, lovingly shall nestle near, in a wonderland they lie, dreaming as the days go by, dreaming as the summers die, ever drifting down the stream, lingering in the golden gleam. Life, what is it but a dream? Oh, I like that. I really like that. Again, I love stuff like this. I'm such a fairy tale kid. Anyway, go.
Not a little girl in Victorian times, but I gotta draw your attention to the fact that the first letter of each line spells out Alice Little's full name.
Oh, it
Well,
does!
the first 6 lines
I didn't
of both
catch that. I didn't even catch that. Hold on, go back. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. I want to see that. Okay, so yeah, it says Alice, please, or Alice Pleasant, or I cannot pronounce the last one, but that's so cool that I didn't even realize that he did that. That's cool. I'm not gonna lie. Again, this is why I love fairy tales. I love literature. I love poetry. Like, everybody's wanting to do gaming stuff on Twitch. I'm like, I wanna tell everybody stories. Alice, please send Pleasancidel. Yes, that. Sorry, I was trying to read what you wrote to me. It's all good, Privy Author, you're good. But yeah, it's like everybody wants to do gaming on here. I'm like, I want to talk about fairy tales and stories, you guys. Okay, go.
Letter of each line spells out Alice Little's full name, as well as the first 6 lines. A boat beneath a sunny sky lingered onward.
Oh, he's gonna read it. Okay.
Evening of July. Children 3 that nestled near, eager eye and willing ear. Please,
Alice in Wonderland, who cares about her last name? Duh, right?
Like Carol is recalling a fond memory. You're right, because the July evening the poem references was the day that Carol took Alice Little and her 2 sisters on a boating expedition up the River Thames, and first told them the story of Alice's adventures in Wonderland. There's no way that he could have anticipated the influence that humble little story would have on the world, that it would find its way into nearly every facet of culture. From stage plays to comic books to video games, the world.
Ooh, that would be a fun game. Ooh, I forgot about that, you guys.
She continues to be rediscovered, reinterpreted, and reborn for new generations.
I wonder if it's available on Steam. I'll have to look.
To 3 children on a
I
summer
saw.
afternoon has become one of the most
I love it. I love it how he just like referenced to like the Wizard of Oz and then Coraline with it. Like, yes.
influential and enduring pieces of storytelling in human history.
The
A
Matrix.
glass that reflects
Yes.
our own curiosity, our fears, our humor, and our desire to make sense of a world that often feels just as nonsensical.
I think it's also the fact that people, this is the purest form of escapism, if you ask me. Like, it really comes down to that.
As Wonderland. And maybe that's the real magic of Alice's adventures, not the fantastic creatures or impossible logic, but it's a reminder that human imagination has no limits. That a story spun for some kids in a rowboat could ripple outward for more than 150 years and still inspire wonder today. So be on the lookout for your white rabbit. And once you catch sight of it, you follow it wherever it goes, because there is no telling where the rabbit hole will take you. Chances are, it's where you're meant to be.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's right. That's right. Adventure time at its finest. All right, y'all. That... Nah, I'm ruining every kid's image of Alice in Wonderland because of this video. No! Don't! Now I'm gonna get Alice in Wonderland memes now thrown at me, aren't I? For my meme reviews. Again, I love fairy tales, but don't worry, I got a good sense of humor, you guys. I'll probably be laughing along with that stuff. It's fine. But yes, like I was like, I want to do something today. I just could not, for the life of me, think of what to do. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna throw it on my music real quick because we're gonna chatter a bit before I get off here, right? We're gonna chatter, right? We can do that. Let me get back to OBS. Yes. Let me see. Do I want the... Ooh. So, I got my game room, I got my pirate ship, and I got my beach night. Who wants the... Which scene do y'all want? I'm so happy my daughter is quiet nowadays. You're good, dude. She's still little, isn't she? She's still baby. You got time. Pirate ship? Let's go to the pirate ship. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good, my dude. Yes. But yes, your little one is very little right now. Yes, you got some time. Just wait. It's gonna happen, I promise you. The moment she starts learning to talk, it's all over from there. She'll have all the curiosity that every child does. Yes, she is very little, very little. Yeah, because I remember when you told me she was still, when around the time that she was born, you had messaged prior to that, I think. So yeah, she's itty bitty right now. That's okay. That's okay. She's got time. Papa, what's this woman on your screen, Lord? Like, dude, she'll probably be like, Daddy, look at the lady with the pretty hair. Like, literally, both of my daughters, my daughter and my stepdaughter, when they saw, like, the new hair color, like, they were just like, oh, it's so pretty. But I hope everybody enjoyed their video and time with me today. I want to do something. I was so, like, grumpy this morning because of all the nonsense with the school buses. The buses were running late and things like that. But I do want to thank Chrysalis for letting me for choosing the Alice video, because I'm like, I need whimsy. I need more whimsy on this channel. I need more fantasy on this channel, because that's who I am. With the pretty hair, horns, dog ears, cat ears, bows. They're puppy ears, okay? They're puppy ears. Apparently now I am a demon mermaid puppy girl, apparently. And then if Shadow is here, I don't know if he's still hanging around or lurking, but he's like, you need to be a succubus too. I'm like, what? What, am I a succubus because I'm a magnet for gooners? Like, I just lure all the sailor men to their deaths. Lure all the gooners to their deaths with my siren song, yes. You need to turn into a narwhal. Oh, I love narwhals. I love narwhals. There's some interesting stuff about narwhals. Like, I think their horn, technically it's not a horn. It's actually a tooth. It is a giant tooth, like a tusk. And they've been trying to do a lot of, like, research and tests on, like, what the tooth is for. And they have discovered that it might have to do with either the water temperature or the pH levels and such, like the salinity in the water that they detect. So it's really interesting, actually. And I think there's like a narwhal model on Etsy. So I don't know if I'll invest in that. Right now I have to, like, penny pinch and save, like, because of the whole food stamps situation that's happening. You know, I was receiving food stamps up until now, and, like, I love how I reached affiliate status, but right when I have reached affiliate status, it's like, now I know that nobody's getting food stamps this upcoming month, so I'm like, oh, okay. Let's see how this goes. Like, it's like, now I have to actually pay for my groceries. It's fine. I feel it in my soul. And for those who are struggling, you know, I know there's a lot of people right now donating to food pantries and such for this upcoming holiday season. So please, if you are one of those people that are on, oh no, I have to cough up money. No, I won't pressure anybody with that. It's just, now that I have affiliate status, I know that I get paid with ad revenue. I get paid through ad revenue and through subscriptions, and I can't remember what else, but those were the two things that I remember specifically that you get paid out by Twitch with affiliate, right? I don't know the Twitch payout schedule, but it has to be, like, I think above $50 for you to get anything. But regardless, I did try to, at least with the food stamps that I had, you know, I tried to stock up on like a lot of bulk stuff in general so that way we could get through certain things, because like honestly the whole situation doesn't surprise me right now with the way the politics are. Again, I'm not going to go into any detail of it. I'm not trying to start no stink, none of that, but just kind of giving everybody a heads up. This is my situation, right? And that's okay. At the end of the day, I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm still well. My children are happy and healthy, and that's what's important, you know? And at the end of the day, I just want to continue to bring good content for you guys, and I want to do good as a streamer, and I've been really appreciating all of the support already from everybody in the Twitch community that has come my way, in the YouTube community, in the Discord community, all of my Aqua Gremlins who have joined the Aqua Gremlins. I appreciate y'all. I really do. It means a lot. And so it motivates me to keep hopping on here, keep trying, keep doing my best. And yeah, I don't know what else to add to that, but I am in a better mood regardless, despite that situation. But anyway, I'm rambling here. I hope you all enjoyed some Alice in Wonderland messed up origins from John Solo. We gremlins stand by you, DW queen of nerds. Mermaids, demons, puppy. Yes. Borf, borf, borf. Borf, borf, borf. Alright, you guys, I'm just derping. I hope you all have a good day. I hope everybody has a happy Halloween. I hope you get all the candy and fun times. Yes. And stay safe. Stay safe through the spooky season. I wish you all luck in your adventure times of trick-or-treating and getting candy. All right, I'm just rambling here. I will talk to everybody tomorrow, you guys. I'm gonna text my daughter in the future. Dude, you know what you should do? This is what me and my ex-husband did. We still dressed up our baby daughter and went trick-or-treating, okay? And it was funny because we had her first trick-or-treating. We dressed her up as a panda. We dressed her up as a baby panda. And like every time we went up to a house with her, everybody was just like, "Aw, so cute. Look at the little panda. Here, parents, have your candy tax." It's like she's not old enough to eat them, so you get all the candy. Yes, you two definitely just wanted to eat candies. Yes. Hey, it worked though. We got a pretty good stash of candy that year. It's okay though. To each their own. Again, I hope you all have a happy Halloween, and I will see everybody tomorrow, because I am streaming Tuesday through Saturday now. Yes, that's what I'm trying to do anyway. All right, you guys, I'm gonna hop off here, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.